In this video, we're going to cover the basics of our content management system, and for a press release, how to go from a draft press release to a final press release ready for distribution. Hi, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. Here we get started. We're in the team site for our company. We're actually using SharePoint, and we're going to open up the press release number 136. This is a press release for a tennis association that we're doing some pro bono work here. We tend to show you only the pro bono work in our tutorials. But here we go. So you're going to open it up. Now the reason we use SharePoint is because you can have multiple editors. It's secure. We can have folks come in and out, but this could be your Google Drive, for example. But we're going to edit in Word. And I'm going to show you the folio version, or the main version of the press release that we put together. So we do a summary. What is the release about? What's the concept? You know, this is about the opportunity of play is limited in the area. We just go through the bullets. Some headline tests. I would probably do more headlines than this for most cases. And then we have the actual press release. Now, the press release has references, because this sidecar file is the whole press release, and all of the elements are related to the press release. It is the discussion piece that you use with a client. Then we have our change log. So I originally dictated this release, and then it was based on the meeting feedback. Then it was expanded into an actual press release, and then reviewed, and then passed out to the customer to review. Once the customer approves it, then you're going to go to your content management system and make a copy of the original file, mark it final, then open that file up. Once you open that file up, we're going to start doing formats. We're going to start doing the header, for example, for a press release, which is contact information. If this was an embargoed release, we might have more details here. Instead of saying for immediate release, we might say for release on such and such a date. We're going to center it. We're going to remove all of the formatting, center, and all the borders. Okay, and that's going to give us our we're going to use the phone number. Now it's going to be the same phone number in here, and I have not coached the client. You always want to coach the client about what to say in an interview, how to handle a reporter, you know, all the details of what they're going to need to know, because when a reporter calls, so writing the press release is only one part of the overall public relations activity. When the reporter calls, you want to make sure that individual can handle the aspects of the call. We're going to use a title here. Now I use all of the formatting that comes with Word itself. I don't get into any fancy layouts or anything. We're going to delete all this back part here. It's not needed in a release. Do the center marker. So we've got the basic release laid out. We're just going to save it. Now for the final, this is the important part, for the final cleanup, what we do is accept all changes and stop tracking. Because we're going to likely fax this to somebody, we want it on a single page, so we're going to lay out smaller margins. Okay, and does that bring it all up and together? Not quite. So probably want the table 100% centered. Okay, there we go. So revitalization of tennis interest across. It's not a very catchy headline, but the opening is Serena Williams started playing tennis at age 3, moved to her family moved. We're going to want this in 12 point. Now one mistake, okay, it already is 12 point. One mistake people make is this URL is pretty nasty. So what we're going to do is clean up URLs. Now, before we start swapping URLs, we want in the sidecar document to account for the redirect. So what are we going to do here? We're going to come down to the bottom of the release. We're going to say URL equals, and then we're going to, any shortened URLs are going to be done through the website in which the press release is aligned. So even though this is pro bono work, I still want to align the press release with the pro bono activity. And you want to make sure that this URL here is very easy to type in. So we're going to create the short link. We'll reference it here. And then in this release, paste it there. It's a branded link that we can track. That's what we want to track. We want to know what's going on. This could have been just as easily a bit.ly. I want to track through my own websites. Okay, so this doesn't quite fit on here. There we go. Okay, one single page. Now, what font should a press release be in? This press release is going to be actually put into Infusionsoft, and then we're going to apply a media list against that, so that as we add media names to the list, they'll get this particular release, which is kind of an evergreen release. We want to check all the contact information. Okay, so there are some problems with this release. The release doesn't say anything about an interview. I would like to put at the bottom of it for an exciting interview. Kind of may want to do it this way: revitalization of tennis interest across the south side of Virginia. It's really informational. It's not the best release. I do like to make this like a Times Roman. So what we do is we change it here. Okay, now when you change it by the underlying style, not anything else. Okay, there's a press release. Now this press release can be produced in a PDF format. It can be produced in an email, cut and paste into an email. It can be faxed out. In most cases, you're just going to email it out to the reporters. If there's any clicks, I'm going to have simple tracking of the clicks. Now, why am I associating this pro bono work through my website rather than their own site? Well, they don't have their own site. If they had their own site, I would then use that link. There you go. Press release is complete. Once everything's saved, it all goes back to the content management system, and we're done.
Thanks for listening.